given that most people spend most of their time engaged in entertainment, looking at a screen. How do we make the world better, given we have the internet and people doing that? And that's something, you can work the rest of your life on and be excited about, right? You're not just purely making money, you're also thinking about how do we make things better.
And so I think that what people misunderstand is somehow the best jobs are the one that brings you happiness all the time. I don't think that that's right. You have to suffer, you have to struggle, you have to endeavor, you have to do those hard things and work through it in order to really appreciate what you've done. And there are no such thing that are great that was easy to do.
Welcome back, Wealth Tubers. In today's video, we're exploring why living in America is becoming harder for so many. With rising costs, stagnant wages, and challenges in housing and healthcare, millions of Americans are struggling to make ends meet. We'll dive into the root causes of these pressures and what needs to change for a better future.
37.9 million. That's the number of Americans currently living in poverty, accounting for 11.6% of the total population. That's despite the fact that America ranks first as the richest nation in the world in terms of GDP.
In recent years, many Americans have found themselves grappling with a host of challenges that make daily life increasingly difficult. From economic pressures and social issues to healthcare, work-life balance, and the impact of technology, these multifaceted problems paint a complex picture of living in America today.
Now, people making well over six figures are still living paycheck to paycheck. What used to symbolize financial freedom is now keeping people stressed about making ends meet.
This discussion delves into these challenges, supported by relevant data, to provide a comprehensive and engaging analysis of the struggles faced by many in the United States. Economic pressures.
I cannot afford to spend every last penny that I have on my debt.
This is it. $85 at Kroger. Absolute robbery.
And the reality is that unless interest rates go down or wage growth miraculously boosts out of nowhere, we could be in this point for quite some time. Buckle up, everybody.
Rising costs of living, wage stagnation, housing affordability, and inflation. Economic pressures are among the most significant challenges affecting everyday life in America. The cost of living has been rising steadily, outpacing wage growth for many workers. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Consumer Price Index, CPI, has shown a marked increase in the prices of goods and services, leading to higher living expenses. This is compounded by wage stagnation, where real wages have barely kept up with inflation over the past few decades.
Record high inflation may have people questioning whether homeownership is a good investment. Property taxes on the median single-family home have risen by more than 25% between 2019 and 2023.
Housing affordability is another critical issue. The National Low-Income Housing Coalition reports that a minimum wage worker would need to work 97 hours per week to afford a one-bedroom rental home at fair market rent. This disparity between income and housing costs has led to an increase in housing insecurity and homelessness. Consider the story of a single mother from California. Despite working 2 jobs, she struggles to make ends meet. Her rent consumes nearly half of her monthly income, leaving little for other necessities. This experience is not unique. It echoes the plight of many Americans who find themselves in similar situations, striving to balance the rising costs of living with stagnant wages. Social issues.
Joe Biden has just officially crossed the delegate threshold for the Democratic nomination.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump has been found guilty on all 34 charges in his hush money trial.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial.
Trump has become the first American president to be convicted of a felony in U.S. history.
On President Biden to drop out of the 2024 race, extending beyond Capitol Hill.
Political polarization, racial and social inequalities, and the mental health crisis. America's social fabric is fraying under the strain of deep-seated political polarization and enduring racial and social inequalities. Political divisions have widened significantly, creating an environment where compromise and constructive dialogue are increasingly rare. This polarization permeates everyday interactions, leading to heightened tensions and conflicts. Racial and social inequalities remain pervasive. Systemic discrimination in areas such as employment, education, and criminal justice continues to disadvantage minority communities. For instance, African Americans are disproportionately affected by poverty and incarceration rates compared to their white counterparts.
It's called one of the greatest public health challenges of our time. Our nation's mental health is in crisis, and there's one very big thing contributing to it. Good evening. Experts say it is a crisis, and it's made worse by the COVID pandemic and the growing impact of social media, particularly on our young people.
The mental health crisis is another pressing social issue. Nearly 1 in 5 U.S. adults lives with a mental illness, and the COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated these issues, with increased reports of anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. A 45-year-old teacher from New York shares his struggle with depression. Despite having a stable job and a supportive family, the pressures of daily life and the pandemic's impact took a toll on his mental health. This story underscores the importance of addressing mental health issues and providing adequate support and resources. Healthcare.
7.4% of U.S. residents face catastrophic healthcare bills each year. That's more than double the next closest country.
100 million people in this country currently have some kind of healthcare debt. That's about 40% of adults.
Accessibility, affordability, and quality of healthcare services. Healthcare remains a contentious issue in America, with significant challenges related to accessibility, affordability, and quality. The U.S. healthcare system is often criticized for being one of the most expensive in the world, yet not necessarily delivering better outcomes. The U.S. spends nearly twice as much on healthcare as other high-income countries, yet has poorer health outcomes. Many Americans...
About the affordability crisis in this country, that's a very myopic way to think about affording healthcare, is I can't afford primary care. You could take that $800 billion and use it to pay a $100 per month subscription fee for every single American to give them a DPC primary care doctor and still have $470 billion left over. So I think that we need to rethink this and look at how valuable primary care is to patients, to society, to the healthcare system.
Many Americans struggle with healthcare affordability. About 1 in 4 have difficulty paying their medical bills, and many skip necessary treatments due to cost. For example, a waitress from Texas had to choose between paying for her medication and buying groceries for her family. This kind of impossible choice is a stark reality for many. Quality of care is another concern. Disparities in healthcare quality exist across different regions and demographic groups, often influenced by socioeconomic factors. The pandemic highlighted these disparities, with minority communities experiencing higher infection and mortality rates. Work-life balance.
Work-life balance can be a well-being issue. People's drive to succeed professionally can push them away from doing things for themselves.
Job security, work hours, remote work, and work-related stress. Achieving a healthy work-life balance is a challenge for many Americans. Job security has become increasingly precarious, with many workers facing the threat of layoffs or reduced hours. The gig economy, characterized by short-term contracts and freelance work, offers flexibility but often lacks stability and benefits. Work hours in America are among the longest in the industrialized world. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, reports that Americans work an average of 1,779 hours per year, significantly more than workers in many other developed countries. This extended work time contributes to high levels of work-related stress and burnout. Remote work, which became widespread during the COVID-19 pandemic, has brought both benefits and challenges. While it offers flexibility and reduces commuting time, it also blurs the boundaries between work and personal life, leading to longer working hours and increased stress. A software developer from Seattle shares her experience of remote work. Initially, she appreciated the flexibility, but over time, the lack of separation between work and home life led to burnout and decreased productivity. Technology.
About 1 in 5 American adolescents report having anxiety and depression. And CDC data show teenage girls are facing record levels of sadness and suicide risk.
Impact of social media, digital dependency, and cybersecurity concerns, particularly the rise of social media, has had a profound impact on daily life in America. While it offers numerous benefits, it also presents significant challenges. Social media platforms can contribute to digital dependency, where individuals feel compelled to be constantly connected, leading to decreased face-to-face interactions and increased feelings of isolation. Cybersecurity concerns are another critical issue. As more aspects of life move online, the risk of cyberattacks and data breaches has grown. Cybercrime reported losses exceeded $4.2 billion in 2020. Protecting personal information and ensuring cybersecurity is an ongoing challenge for individuals and organizations alike. A college student from Florida describes his experience with digital dependency. He found himself spending several hours a day on social media, which negatively impacted his academic performance and mental health. This story highlights the need for a balanced approach to technology use, promoting digital wellness and mindful consumption. Thanks for watching WealthTubers. If today's video made you think about the challenges of living in America, make sure to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you on the next one.